Yeah, I took my first improv class, which should make me even more stupid than I already am. But it would I'll be able to talk faster than I already do, which should be pretty great, you know, because I talk so slow as it is already. So to give me even more ability to say things without thinking, that seems to be like the end-all be-all goal of it. So yeah, good shit, right? Did we say yes and? We did say yes and. We did. I'd never been to one before.
You'd have been teaching improv at this point.
No, I've never been to one before. I did pretty good though. I was pretty popular because I was funny. And like I discovered, because I didn't really know what you would do in improv class. All I knew is that I wanted to be better at improv. I wanted to be able to think a little bit faster on my feet. And I just was like, yeah, I think that'd be pretty cool. But so I went to do that. And I discovered that improv classes are kind of remind me of stuff I used to do when I was like in elementary school. Like a lot of what you do is just play. Like the teacher of the class was like, okay, I'm gonna call out a shape and you guys need to make that shape with your bodies. And I was like, okay. And so he was like, okay, helicopter. And we were like, oh. And so like, I just like stood in the middle and started rotating like spinning blades on a helicopter. And like the people around me. And I was kind of like, oh, this is like pretty easy. But like, I guess for the rest of, I mean, they were pretty shy. They were like, oh, this is so silly. And I was like, what? It's like pretty easy. You just like be a helicopter, like tee. But like, so I'm looking forward to keep doing it. And then maybe eventually I'll be able to go to like the advanced class and stuff. Recently, I've been thinking, I don't know if it's because of the stress or like whatever, but I hadn't been as silly as I used to be. Like, I felt like kind of like I lost my whimsy. And I wasn't sure if that was because of VShojo or if because I'm getting older, like whatever. But I was kind of like, man, my whimsy. I feel like I'm losing my whimsy. And so being in the improv class definitely made me feel like, oh yeah, keep your whimsy just by like being a silly little guy. I definitely felt like I felt a little bit of my whimsy coming back. Although at one point my teacher said I was being too silly. I'm too silly for improv class, is crazy. Yeah, I was a little too silly. The instructor actually stopped me at one point and said, okay, this is what happened. This is an actual true thing that happened. Okay, so one of the activities we had to play was a game called What's This? And so the game of What's This, they point at something and say, what's this? And you say what it is, right? And so the teacher was like, okay, what's this? And he pointed at like a chair. And I was like, sitting device. And he was like, okay. And then he pointed at a TV and he said, what's this? And I said, brain rot machine. And he was like, okay. And then he was like, what's this? And he pointed at a door. And I said, oh, it's a portal. And he said, okay, now this time, let's be a little less silly. And then he pointed at the doorknob. And he's like, what's this? And I was like, doorknob? And he was like, yeah! I was too silly. I got a little too silly in the improv class. And he told me to just say the thing. Okay, it made sense though. So after we did one round, he was like, okay, next round. Now what I want you to do is I want you to say everything except for what it is. He's like, okay, so if it's a door, I want you to point at it and say, when I say, what's this? I want you to say like giraffe. He's like, I don't care what you say. Just don't say what it is. And I was like, oh. So I was already just being a little too silly. I was one step ahead of him. And he was like, okay, I need you to bring it back. I need you to bring it back because the contrast isn't going to make sense if you were silly this whole time. I felt proud, though. I felt proud that I got told by the improv teacher that I was just a little too silly. You see, that would have traumatized and humiliated me, and I'd never go, no, he was a nice guy. My favorite one that we had to do, though, was called Mr. Know-It-All. And in Mr. Know-It-All, you had to go on stage and you knew it all. Whatever anybody asked you, you were an expert in it. And so you just had to bullshit it. And so we played Mr. Know-It-All, and it was like, hey, Pia, how come people get tummy aches after eating fried food? I felt like I was in my element. I was like, because of the giraffes. And then they were like, because of the giraffes? I was like, yeah. And they were like, do you mind elaborating? I was like, oh, I thought it was obvious. I didn't realize I'd have to, all right, guys. All right, put on your, all right. I didn't realize I had a bunch of little babies here. All right, I'll spell it out for you. It's the telepathy from the horns. And they were like, what? I was like, okay, all right. Step one. I was just being a silly little guy. It was fun. Yeah, don't you guys know? Don't you guys know that? Yeah, giraffes, you know, like they got those two little horns on their head. And didn't you ever think, wow, that's really weird. I've never seen another animal with those before. That's because they're aliens. Yeah, giraffes are aliens, if you didn't know. And so those two little things on their head, those actually contact the home planet. But it's like highly radiationable. It makes you really irradiated. And so if you're too close to a giraffe, then you get tummy aches when you eat fried food because the giraffes are sending their signals to space and it gives off a lot of radiation. And that's why. Yeah, everybody knows that. You didn't know that? You must be from out of town. Because everybody knows that. Yeah, you think you read it? Yeah, you probably read it in school. It's like a really important fact that they teach you. And if you're thinking, well, how come I have a tummy ache right now? I don't have any giraffes nearby you that you know of. That's what you think. You don't think you have any giraffes nearby you. But yeah, so that was the activity, was that we just had to do that. And it was pretty fun. It was like a pretty chill, low-key environment because everybody in the audience just had to say, of course, she knows everything. So it was just really, it was really silly and fun. I need a giraffe detector? Yeah, most people, well, you know, you do have a natural giraffe detector, right? Yeah, if you bend over right now and spread your cheeks, you're gonna sense the giraffes. Most people aren't aware of this, but they have natural giraffe detectors buried in their anus. Everybody knows that, though, right? I mean, you know that, right? If you don't know that, then you must be a really silly little guy. That's not you, right? You're not a silly little guy. Yeah, you've had giraffes around you for years. I didn't know I had giraffes around me either, but it's because I never opened up my butthole to the universe. If I'd opened up my butthole to the universe, I could have saved myself a lot of doctor's bills, you know? Yeah, I should have opened up my butthole to the universe. Should have done that ages ago. It's only been 5 minutes. I have giraffophobia. See, guys, this is what you can expect. Once I get through with learning improv, I'm just going to on stream just tell you all the secrets of the universe.
Oh ha, happy, compy, silly pickle-chan. Oh happy compy, oh happy, pickle-chan, pickle-chan, pickle-chan.